According to multiple sources, actor Paul Rudd is your new Ant-Man, the hero set to launch the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 3 in AMC Theatres everywhere on May 1st, 2015. Several weeks ago, we shared that Rudd was one of the final actors being looked at for the role, and that now seems to be official. John, what do you think about Rudd being Ant-Man?
Yeah, it does look like it's official now. Paul Rudd hasn't, as far as I know, hasn't come out and said, hey guys, I'm thrilled to be Ant-Man yet, but this is coming from heavy sites like Variety, Hollywood Reporter, things like that. So it looks fairly reliable and solid. You know, it's funny because it was just about maybe a month or two ago that we talked about that it looked like Paul Rudd could be one of the guys. And I said I love the idea of Paul Rudd being Ant-Man. It was just yesterday, actually, on this very show, that I said, you know what, I think we're about to get a whole bunch of Ant-Man news. I guarantee by January 15th, we're going to know who Ant-Man is. And then like 4 hours later, which is kind of cool. I was only off by like 3.5 weeks. Anyway, so I gotta tell you, love it. I absolutely love this casting. Is Paul Rudd the first name that would have popped into my head were I, you know, Kevin Feige and I had to make this decision? Probably not. But once we heard that his name was in the mix a few months ago, I was like, wait a minute, that's actually a really good name. Especially if we're looking for somebody who can bring the comedic sensibilities that like a Robert Downey Jr. brings and can maybe even surpass him. That's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is one of the single greatest comedic actors in film today. He's in a what's what of the greatest comedies of all time list. He's in there, especially in the last 10 years or so. This guy is amazing. I'm especially really excited because we just came out of seeing Anchorman 2 the other night. I think this is a terrific choice. He's a solid, great actor, great comedic sensibilities. I think he's going to be a terrific Hank Pym, and according to the report, he is going to be Hank Pym. I know some people were wondering which character he would be. I'm excited for it. I think this is an inspired choice. I think this is really good news for the franchise. So, yeah, I'm stoked. Aaron, what do you think?
I think it's really interesting. Initially, I wasn't that stoked about the idea of Paul Rudd coming on as Ant-Man because I love JGL, and he was in the name for every Marvel character that was being
every
cast.
DC, and every DC.
I know.
Remember he was going to be the next Batman?
Right.
Too? Like, it was crazy.
He had a great year in Rumorsville, USA. But now that JGL is in the DC Cinematic Universe, the Sandman news that came out earlier this week, I think this makes a lot of sense. Paul Rudd is an amazing addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's funny, he's talented, he has a built-in fan base, he's so well liked. I think it's a no-brainer, and I'm excited to see it now.
Dennis?
I think it's a good fit, especially because of who's directing. You have Edgar Wright.
Yeah. And
I think his sensibilities with his comedic timing mixed with Paul Rudd, I think that's a very interesting mix that I think will, especially for something like Ant-Man. You know, Ant-Man's something you can't take too seriously because it's a guy that shrinks down
and talks to ants.
Yes.
And talks to insects,
so I think it's a good fit. And yeah, with JGL, I guess he was also in the running for Ant-Man, and as soon as he signed up for Sandman, I guess negotiations with Paul Rudd started to heat up.
See, I still am totally of the belief that Paul Rudd was cast as Ant-Man 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
I really do firmly believe that. But I do also believe JGL at some point was probably in the running for this. I just think, look, who do I think is the better actor overall, Paul Rudd or Joseph Gordon-Levitt? I'm probably slightly going to give the edge to Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that. I do. But I honestly see Hank Pym and Paul Rudd as a slightly better fit. I just think this is an incredible fit. I'm excited for it. So, and you know what? Seriously, I'm glad you brought up the whole point about Edgar Wright, because that's a really good point. When you look at a movie like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I thought was perfect for a Marvel feel, especially with the universe they got now. If he can bring some of that over, blending the action and the comedy and the quick, witty dialogue, which Marvel loves, I think this is a home run. All right, what's next?
I just have to say that as someone who's not a comic fan necessarily, I was not excited for Ant-Man at all, and Paul Rudd now being attached is what's making me want to see the film.
And that's the biggest deal, right?
Yeah.
This is, the biggest part about this is not only is he crazy talented, super funny, he's going to be a great fit, but he's also a name that's going to get people who, like Kristen Lee, who don't read a comic every single day. Now they're excited about Ant-Man. This is a brilliant move. Brilliant.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news, and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.